Morning. I would like to welcome you all to the 4th annual Boys Read Book Battle. This exciting event is a result of the partnership between Pinellas County Schools and the Pinellas Education Foundation. Participation in the Boys Read Book Battle has quadrupled since last year. 11 school teams participated in last year's battle, and this year, 41 elementary schools from Pinellas County Schools were represented in the semifinal rounds earlier this week. Today, the top 2 scoring teams from each semifinal round are here to join us for the final round and have a chance to take home the first place trophy. We are so proud of all of your hard work, both students and sponsors, and thank you for your family support. And we wish you the best of luck. At this time, I would like to turn it over to Mr. Kevin Hendrick.
Thank you and good morning. As the superintendent of Pinellas County Schools, it's my pleasure and excitement to wish you the very best of luck today as you compete for the championship. There will be a new champion this year. Our 2-time champion, Mildred Helms Elementary School, is not in the final round, and so you guys have already defeated the 2-time champions. And now it's your chance to see how you do. But this partnership that we began 4 years ago is exciting because it gets you reading about things that interest you, that excite you, and that bring you to a place today of competition and excitement for your parents, your teachers, your principals that are here to watch, and hundreds of people that are already watching online. So on behalf of our 7-member school board who occupies this building to govern our schools, and me as your superintendent, we wish you the very, very best of luck. But you've already won by getting to the finals, and I know you're going to do a great job today. Congratulations. And let me introduce our partners at the Pinellas Education Foundation who helped to sponsor this, and Lisa Fasting. Lisa?
Thank you, Mr. Hendrick. Okay, the Pinellas Education Foundation is so proud to partner with the district on this event. We at the foundation believe in equity for all students. We believe all students deserve a high-quality education, and we support many programs throughout the district. One of those is today's Boys Book Battle, and we're very grateful for our corporate sponsors that help support this initiative, which are Transamerica, Valley Bank, Dollar General Literacy Foundation, and the Nielsen Foundation. So I am here today on behalf of the Closing the Gap Committee that really supports boys increasing their love for reading, which in turn helps all areas of education. So congratulations for making it to the final, and good luck to all the competitors today.
All right, so my name is Bronwyn Slack. I'm the program coordinator of Library Media. I help coordinate this program. I want to go over the gameplay rules with you and with our audience, just so you know what's about to happen here. So just like with the semifinals that you all went through earlier this week, each question is worth a maximum of 100 points. You get 3 chances to answer each question correctly, as you guys know from battling the other day. The first attempt, so if you get it correct on the first attempt, you'll get the whole 100 points. If you get it correct on the second attempt, you'll get 50 points. And the third attempt, you'll get 25 points. If you're not able to make a decision within the timer, that will be 0 points. Is everybody clear on that? Awesome, thank you guys. All right, so when you are given the opportunity to defend your answer, so if you remember the other day, it was modeled for you what that might sound like. One thing's going to be a little different today. We have 16 questions that are part of this battle, just like we did the other day, but we have 10 teams in this room, right? So that's not an equal number of questions to teams. So what's going to happen for questions 1 through 6 is our MC is going to not only help show you again how to model providing your evidence, and then on question number 7, we're going to start with Brooker Creek Elementary School. You'll be our first team to defend. So question number 7 will be for you guys. Question number 8 will be for Jamerson. Question number 9 will be for Dunedin. If you look on your tables, you have a little name tag for your team. The number is there so we know who to call on for the evidence, but just so you guys can kind of prepare mentally when it's going to be your team's turn to defend. So when we get to question 16, that's going to be Seminole Elementary School in the back. You'll be our last team to defend. Is everybody clear on that? So each team will get one chance to defend with the evidence from the text. And what we're looking for when you're providing your evidence, just so you know, but we will go over it again. So not only are you going to be answering the question like usual, but when you give your evidence, there are a couple things we need you to do for us. So first, the page number that you are looking at in your book, okay? So that's the first piece of information we're gonna ask of you is what's the page number? Give us a location, top, middle, bottom, last paragraph. Kind of give us a roadmap of where you're looking at for the evidence. And then tell us the direct quote from the text that is the supporting evidence for the answer for that question. So even if you get the question wrong, you can still make up for points when you are providing your evidence. And you'll have about 30 seconds to provide that evidence once it's your turn. We'll give you a couple chances. If your team is struggling to come up with the evidence, we might say, okay, you've only got a couple more seconds. We need a response. We need textual evidence. So we will try to prompt you, but you'll get about 30 seconds once you're asked to give evidence. And then once again, just like in the semifinal battle, when you're answering the questions outright, giving us whatever the number is for the correct answer, it's that 60 seconds plus the time that our MC is using to read the question and answers to you. So you actually get about 75 seconds per question. Any questions before we get started? Awesome. Yes, sir. Okay. Okay, so you'll work with your team whenever it's your team's turn to answer, and then you guys will go for question number 8. That'll be your team's turn to give evidence, okay? So make sure your team hears your voice on that, okay? All right, without further ado, I would like to introduce our MC. He is the founder of Thinkersize LLC, which we better now know as Cranium Core, Mr. Andy Larson.
Thank you. Can you all hear me? Good. I wanted to say a couple things. Thank you for having me out to do this, number one. And I can also tell you that the person you can thank or blame for being here is the superintendent. Because I can remember about 5 years ago, he was at a competition that was statewide that I was the MC of, and he asked me after it was done, can this be done with any book? And that was how it started with his mind. So like I said, you can either thank or blame him depending on your position. So with no further ado, the other thing I was going to say to you is there's a couple things I should mention. Whenever I do anything, I just try to have as much fun as I can. That's been my mantra or my theme for my whole life. And when I got this idea, I just want to have fun. And I want you to have fun. So the most important thing for you to do is have fun. Now your idea of fun and my idea of fun might be totally different with this particular game in mind, because your idea of fun is getting things right the first time if you can. Because that is, for this gaming, the most important thing you can do. And I think you know the reason why. 100 points, 50 points, 25 points, or no points. You understand all that. The other thing I want to tell you is it's a shame, in a way, that you're only going to defend for one answer, because I think defending the answer, finding the evidence, is the most important thing you can do, bar none, with this process. So with that in mind, I'm just going to tell you, take your time when you're answering the questions. You've got 75 seconds. You've got 60 on the clock, another 15 or so seconds for me to read. Take your time. And since there are 3 or 4 of you or 2 of you, 2 heads are better than 1, 3 are better than 2, etc., get everybody involved. And whoever has the transmitter, don't touch it yet, but whoever has the transmitter, your job is to ask the other teammates what their opinion is, not just to answer the question. I think you all know that too. So that's all part of the process. So I don't think there's anything else I can say other than have fun, take your time. That's really critical. And I do look and see how much time it takes before someone answers, because sometimes people will get it wrong the third time and they'll still have 30 or 40 seconds left. So, and that all helps, because you've just got a short little amount of text that you've got to look at. It's not like you've got the whole book. So with no further ado, let's play the game. And I'm going to, just so you know, I'm going to stop the game immediately, so you can't answer even if you want to, because I'll stop it. And then I'm going to read the question and all the answers, and when I'm done reading the answers, then I start the clock, and the clock will start to move and will tick. You'll hear it and you'll see it. But that's also something you should know, so don't get frustrated by it.
Ready, set, go.
In the beginning of chapter 34 of Ben Yokoyama and the Cookie of Doom, what was Ben's attitude pursuing his big idea? 1, he was ominous. 2, he was optimistic. 3, he was pessimistic. 4, he was realistic. That's great to see. You all got it right the first time, I think, and you all took your time. That is really good. And the answer, as we can see here, is he was optimistic. And the way we know he was optimistic, that's a word you may not know. And by the way, if there's any words you don't know, you can always look them up if you have a vehicle to look them up. But that's another piece of the puzzle. But the word optimism is the answer here. And at the bottom of page 244, here's what it says. It will be the perfect end to my very last day. That is a state of optimism. So next question, I think we're going to see, yep, we do, a 10-way tie. But that will change. And if it doesn't change, then I'm in trouble, because I have to be much more diligent in my writing of questions. Based on what we read in chapter 34 of Ben Yokoyama and the Cookie of Doom, how did Ben's view of himself saving the day most compare to Janet's view of Ben saving the day? 1, they were identical. 2, they were opposite. 3, they were similar. 4, they were different. They were opposite, and here's how we know. On the bottom of page 246, it says, ta-da, he said, spreading his arms like a magician at the end of a trick. But on page 247, at the top of the page, it says, no, Ben. Janet was furious. So they were opposite. One was very happy and proud. One was upset and angry. So they were opposite. And we have a little bit of a differentiation now. We have a 8-way tie for first. but that will change. Which of these things from chapter 34 of Ben Yokoyama and the Cookie of Doom could you most likely conclude? 1. Janet's mom loved her rug. 2. Mrs. Ezra had a good reputation in the neighborhood. 3. Janet always trusted Mrs. Ezra. 4. Mrs. Ezra did not want anyone to have her apples. So we see that Janet's mom loved her rug, and it looks like I'm going to have to write a lot tougher questions for you all. And here's how we know. On the top part of page 253, it says, "But this rug is perfect just the way it is." She loved that rug. We still have an 8-way tie for first. And that might not change. Question 4, who actually saved the day in chapter 34 of Ben Yokoyama and the Cookie of Doom based on what we read at the end of this chapter? 1, Ben's dad. 2, Janet. 3, Mrs. Ezra. 4, Ben. Ten seconds. And the answer is Mrs. Ezra, number 3. And there's multiple ways we know this, but this is one way. She invited them over. She says, this is the middle of page 257. "Why don't you two come over tomorrow and help me pick a few?" Now I feel much better. There's only 5 that are tied for first. This is another book now. We're going into J.D. and the Great Barber Battle. Here's the question. In chapter 23 of J.D. and the Great Barber Battle, how did J.D.'s mom at first react to J.D.'s question about working at Henry Jr.'s? 1, she was totally against it. 2, she was all for it. 3, she didn't care one way or the other. 4, she had her doubts. Great job again. Number 4 is the right answer. She had her doubts, and the reason we know that is in the middle, upper middle of page 119. Here's what it says. JD, I don't know. Can we talk about this later? That seems like a bit much, she said. So she definitely had her doubts. So this next one is the last question that I'm going to model, and after that, it'll be BCE Buccaneers will be the first one. They'll try it with question 7. We still have a 4-way tie for first. Great job, guys and girls. Question 6. How did Grandma respond in chapter 23 of J.D. and the Great Barber Battle, given our text? 1. She was undecided. 2. She was against it. 3. She was for it. 4. She deferred to Grandpa. She was against it. And here's how we know that. Again, in the middle, lower middle of page 119, here's what she said. Veronica, I don't know if it's a good idea for JD to be down there getting in grown folks' business, Grandma said. So we know she was against it because of that statement. So on this next one, this will be BC, as I told you, but Buccaneers, and we'll go down from there. And you'll have about 30 seconds afterward. But again, my advice to all of you, when it's your turn to defend it, if there's time, like there is always, it seems, after the questions are answered by the team that's doing the defense, look for the answer. And it'll be up to me, with the text in hand, compared to what you're saying, to see if it defends it or not. So that's on me. Good luck. And now we have a two-way tie for first. But that will change, I think. Question 7. What did J.D. Mosley think of Vanessa's input in chapter 23 of J.D. and the Great Barber Battle? 1. He wasn't surprised by it. 2. He was glad she said what was on her mind. 3. He didn't welcome it. 4. He had hoped she would have been more positive. Ten seconds. The answer is he didn't welcome it. And you have 30 seconds to give me the defense of that answer.
On page 119, it says, yeah, JD, who is going to take you back?
Hold on, wait, where are you? Top, bottom, middle?
The bottom.
Okay.
It said, yeah, JD, who is going to take you back and forth to Henry's? Vanessa added. And he said, I have my bike, Vanessa. And then it comes, why did she have to butt in?
Yeah, and I'll give that to you. You got it. And here's the acid test on this one, because at the very bottom, although you got it, because that does lead to it, why did she have to butt in? He's thinking, come on, stay out of my business. So here's what we do. If you see the plus sign next to your name, I'm going to give you 50 points for every correct answer. Now, I just want to mention this to you all. That's not a big deal, 50 points. The process, I think, is a huge deal. But if you don't get it right, don't worry about it. It's only 50 points. It's not a big deal compared to all the points you can get. The most important thing in this game to do is get it right the first time if you can, which all of you seem to be doing, because you're doing great. But great job, BCE. Next question. And this one, it goes to Jamerson next, I believe. who hasn't missed any yet, I think. In chapter 23 of J.D. and the Great Barber Battle, how did Grandpa mostly feel about J.D. going to work at Henry and Son? 1, Grandpa was against it. 2, Grandpa was for it. 3, Grandpa thought it was harmless. 4, Grandpa had his reservations. Grandpa was for it. So, Jamerson, you have 30 seconds to give me the defense.
Wait. You only have to say on the bottom of 120. It says, "I will be like you." I said,
Wait, where? Right, where?
Just read it. On the bottom of 120, it says, where is it? At the core, Granddad was a businessman. He had been the boss at J.C. Penney, and now he was his own boss. "I will be like you," I said, "a working man." A smile spread across Granddad's face. He didn't make a sound for a long while. "Okay," he finally said, "I'll encourage you. Your mom won't let you try it, but just don't forget where you come from. Don't embarrass me or your family."
You got it. Nice. Now, here's the thing. We could have waited here for you to read the whole thing for us if you wanted to read the whole book. You didn't have to do that, because all I'm asking for, because you covered it, but what I have is the defense, bottom of page 120. "I will encourage your mom to let you try." Bingo, done, it, all right? So, you covered all of it, though. Not a bad process. Just, the bottom line, I tell people this all the time. I don't care what you think. I just care what the author said. So if you get to the heart of it, that's even better, but you got it, so that's good. But again, you could have read the whole book to us, and I would have given it to you anyway, so good job. So let's just hit this twice. And now we go to the next question, which should be the Dreadful Dragon's job to do when we're on to a new book. And we still have a two-way tie for first, and that really aggravates me. Question 9, in chapter 28 of The Line of Mars, what was missing from Trey and Belle's imaginative map? 1, people. 2, rovers. 3, monorails. 4, trains. So the correct answer is people was the missing ingredient. So Dreadful Dragons, how do we know that people was the right answer?
In chapter 8, paragraph 241, it says...
Hold on a second, hold on. A little bit louder so I can hear you.
Oh, okay. In chapter 28 and paragraph 241, it says we had forgotten the most important...
Where are you? You're in the top, bottom, middle?
Middle. Oh, middle.
Okay, good.
It says we had forgotten the most important thing for a success word, other people.
Bingo, got it. Good job. I like you got right to the heart of the matter. Okay, next question should be to the night readers of Eisenhower. And now we just have one team that hasn't missed any. Question 10. In chapter 28 of The Line of Mars, what mostly indicated that Say was still harboring ill feelings? 1. He voted against seeing other settlements. 2. He didn't trust other settlements. 3. He didn't interact with anyone. 4. He took his meals in his workroom. He took his meals in his workroom is the correct answer. Dreadful dragons. Let's see. No, excuse me. It's night readers. Night readers. I think you got it wrong too. So you can get some points though, night readers. Even though you didn't get any points yet on this question. How do we know that Say took his meals in his workroom?
No, that's not it. On page 243, at the middle of page 243, he said, "I made a plate. Don't you like scrambled eggs?" I asked him. He looked at me. I loved him. "What are you working on?" I asked him. "A part for the new printer." I don't know.
Yeah, I can't give you that one because he was working on the printer, there's no question, but at the top of that same page, you had your hand up? It's too late, you gave your answer already, sorry. So, here's the proof. Top of the page. Say was always in his workroom during meals these days. He claimed to be busy fixing things, but I was starting to wonder if he was what was broken. So there's the proof. That statement right there. Again, you were close. You're kind of below it, but you weren't there yet. So I can't give you that. Next question. Pond still is undefeated, and we got a horse race for second place. And this one goes to the Bulldogs. Gulfport, this one's yours to defend. Question 11. What happened at the end of chapter 28 of The Line of Mars to pull Say out of his funk? 1. All of these are correct. 2. A misunderstanding was clarified. 3. Lissa's death was accidental. 4. Say was responsible for the lack of communication. Ten seconds. All of these are correct. So the good news for you, Bulldogs, is all you have to do is give me one of them. Just defend one of them.
Okay. So, so it says in page 247 at the bottom, it says, I was going to go back for her, I swear, Pritchard said.
So I barely heard you, but you're at the bottom of 247. I heard that. And what was the text?
So, in page 247, at the bottom, it says, I was going to go back for her, I swear, Pritchard said.
Yeah, and I'll give you that one because he's kind of apologizing, I swear, at that part. When you read that part, I was going to go back for her. So his apologetic statement there, and the next paragraph actually was the one that sums up all of it, because it says, it wasn't your fault, Peter, Say said in a pained voice, I'm so sorry for thinking the worst. Please forgive me. So that was the proof, but you got it. So, Bulldogs, you got one of them. Next question. In chapter 28, and this one's Lakewood's Black Thunder, this is what you're used to defend. In chapter 28 of The Line of Mars, how was it that Belle and Amelie found out about Lissa's death? 1, they hid so they wouldn't be seen. 2, they accidentally overheard it. 3, Commander Laurent told them. 4, they assumed as much. Ten seconds. Okay, Black Thunder, I think is, whose turn is it? Lynch Lions? Oh, Black Thunder, I'm sorry, go ahead. My fault.
It has said right here on the middle-ish to end of 246, it said,
Hold on, wait. I just want to get where you are. Because I've got the book right here. So the middle or end of 246, you said?
Yes, it's like at the end of 246.
Okay.
It says, Sai asked in an agonized voice. She was hurt too. Her leg was broken, Petrie said, but Lisa assured me she would wait. I could only carry one person. We both knew that Commander Laurent didn't have much time. I would return for Lisa, but you didn't go back, Sai said, because I ran out of oxygen and fainted just outside the French settlement.
No, I can't give you that because there's no indication there that they're hiding. But if you go to 248 and you go upper middle, here's what it says. I pulled Amelie down behind a stack of plastic boxes. It's pretty clear there. He's pulling her down to hide her, and that's why it's the right answer. So I can't give that to you. Next question. Let's see what the race looks like now. Whew, we got a horse race. 4 questions to go. And Lynch, this one's yours. In episode 7, there's a new book of Stunt Boy. How did Portico feel right after Herbert appeared and asked a question? 1, Portico felt anxious. 2, Portico felt calm. 3, Portico felt secretive. 4, Portico felt angry.
Okay, I got it.
And the answer is Portico felt anxious. And apparently I must not have written a hard question because y'all got it right real quick. But that's okay. You're doing a great job. So, Lynch, tell me why we know that he felt anxious.
On page 207,
207?
at the top, he was like, no. Yes, because Herbert, he spoiled the movie.
Now, and again, it's the timing on this one that's, I can't give you that because it said right after Herbert appeared. Because when he says no, he goes, no. It was a little bit later than that. It wasn't right after, so I can't give you that. Because the right answer, if I'm looking at this correctly, is in the middle of page 205, right after Herbert appears, here's what Portico says. Oh, just how we need to go inside, Portico said, immediately feeling the frets, which means he got anxious. So I can't give you that one. Boy, we got a horse race. Woo-wee, is it close? In episode 7 of Stunt Boy, what did Herbert do that especially aggravated Portico given our text? This is the Ponce Panthers to defend. 1, Herbert admitted he was a huge Motter and Potter fan. 3, Herbert theoretically spoiled the movie. 3, Herbert had a huge laugh at Portico's expense. 4, Herbert called Portico insulting names. Okay. Ponce Panthers, give me the defense.
In the top of 207, it says, no, Portico screamed because of what Herbert had said, because he'd said it. He totally spoiled the movie.
Good job, you got it. So let me just make sure. All right, Ponce Panthers. And you can give an assist to the Lynch Lions because they actually got this one for you. Okay, second to last question coming up. We still got a horse race. It's way, way too close. This one's yours, Safety Harbor, to defend. Question 15, why was Portico running to his apartment in episode 7 of Stunt Boy, according to what we read? 1, to hide his anxiety. 2, all of these are correct. 3, to validate what Herbert told him. 4, to get away from Herbert. 10 seconds. Oh, we got it, just under the wire. To validate what Herbert told him. Now I'm just gonna tell you this for what it's worth. There are times when I'm doing this that I go, I can't wait till they get to this question because I get so excited because I'm gonna stump people, because that's, like I told you, that's how I have fun. So this one was a tough question, obviously, and the defense of it's gonna be equally tough. So, Safety Harbor, where's the proof that it was to validate what Herbert told him?
At the top of 208, Portico was so mad that he ran from the bench to the building and didn't even wait for the elevator to go up. He just ran up the steps, 4th floor, into his apartment, because if there's anyone he needed to talk to about this, it was his dad. He just wanted to make sure Herbert wasn't tricking him. I mean, he was the worst, after all.
Okay, you got it. And again, here's what I'll just say for what it's worth. You could have read the whole page to us, and I probably would have given it to you anyway, but the proof is he just wanted to make sure Herbert wasn't tricking him. I mean, that's what it says. That's the quote. So that's how we know it's to validate, and that's probably the tough word there for everybody, but again, vocabulary is all part of the deal here. So let's see what the score looks like now. Oh, wait. I have to give you the points. That's important too. These points don't show up until the very end, by the way. Oh, we still have a horse race. Bulldogs, you're in the lead, just barely. Last question. And this one goes to Seminole, Ranji's Rock Stars, to defend. In episode 7 of Stunt Boy, how did Portico attempt to stop his parents from fighting over the TV? 1, he turned on the TV. 2, he grabbed the TV. 3, he went to find Zola. 4, he tried one of his stunts. Great job, you all got it right. That's a great way to end this. So the answer, as we see, is he turned on the TV. So Ranji's Rock Stars, how do we know that?
We know that because in the commercial break, it says...
Wait. You gotta give me the page.
210.
Okay, hold on. I gotta get with you on this one. Okay, 210.
The commercial break. It says, this commercial is brought to you by How to Mute Your Parents. First thing you have to do is turn up the TV a little louder. A little louder. There you go. You've done it. That's it.
Now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you this one. Because obviously the TV's got to be on for that commercial to come on. But if you go one page before it, I'm just going to show you where the proof is. Middle of the page, 209. He grabbed the remote and turned the TV on. So obviously, what you said a little bit later said, yeah, he turned the TV on because the commercial came on. So I'm going to give you that. It's only 50 points one way or the other, but I will give it to you indirectly. You got it right. And we're going to see now who won. Top score now, and it will include all these bonuses for getting it right. So looking down the list, 1475 looks like it is the high score when I'm running up and down the list, but it was a tight game, really tight game. Ponce Panthers from Ponce de Leon won it, and they look like they are the winner of this year's boys battle. And I also have to say congratulations to all of you, because if you look at the very top, it says class average 82%. Now, again, I don't know if you follow percentages at all, but I do. that's a pretty high percentage for one of my games. Now, that's going to make me go back and make games harder, which will probably be not good for you guys, but that's okay. So there's some questions I see. Yes, sir. Say that again. Is there a second place issue here?
Yes. Jamerson, Jammers, and Bulldogs.
Wait, who won?
It's a tiebreaker.
Oh, points Panthers won by 70.
Wait.
What's your question, sir?
I noticed that on the last question, it says right in one of the books, it notes that for turning the TV on, it says this definitely counts as a stunt boy. And one of the answers was a stunt. So technically that does mean that you wouldn't mind if you chose.
Well, you're going to have to bring that up with the computer. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to be like the press secretary for the game, even though I don't have fuzzy hair. Sorry. You have a question back there? So here's what we're going to do. There's good news and there's bad news. The good news is we're going to keep playing. The bad news is it's only going to be 2 teams because 2 of them are going to be, and I didn't know this, but now I do. I knew there was a tie for second, but there is an issue for second place. So it looks like, according to what I've got here, the Bulldogs and the Jammers have to do a playoff for second place. Is there a question? I can't hear you. Try speaking into the mic.
There's 3 teams tied for 3rd place.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, look, there's one.
Okay, so I always like a challenge. And in this case, I got some help. So because we're doing a tiebreaker for second place, the team that doesn't win is automatically the 3rd place winner. So sorry for the 3-way tie, but that's going to change. So that'll be for 4th place. Got it? So here's what we'll do. We only need 2, the first 2 transmitters for 1 and 2. If you can bring those up to me. And then we'll give them to the 2 teams that are competing. Yeah, so nobody else hit their transmitters. We'll just pick them up because we don't want the place to blow up. That usually always freaks people out a little bit, but this group, you can't do anything to nudge them one way or the other, it looks like. So with this game, there's one question, and there's a little bit of a difference here with the way this game is going to be played between the 2 vying for second place. Here's the difference. I don't read anything. So the good news for you is you're not going to hear my voice. And you'll have 30 seconds. And the team that comes in first, in other words, who gets it right first, is the winner. So we're all going to be looking at the screen, and we're going to see whether one team or another answers right or wrong, because it'll say right. And you could even guess 3 times very quickly. 1, 2, and 3. However, if the other team gets it right the first time and takes a lot longer time, they got it right. And they win. So there's two factors here, speed and accuracy, just so you know. So I will exit this game and go into the next game, which will be the tiebreaker for second place. Final tiebreaker. Two teams, and team one is the Jammers, is that right? Is that what I heard? Jameson Jammers? Is team one?
No, it's team 2.
We're team 2.
Okay, you're team two, good. I'm glad someone's paying attention. And I'm just going to put the Jammers in there, just for the sake of it. And team one, who's team one? Bulldogs.
Team 2 is Jammers. Yep, Jammers.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys know the deal here, right?
Yes.
No pressure or hype, everyone's watching. And I'm not going to read anything. You're going to read and answer, and whoever is the firstest with the bestest wins this for second place and third place, respectively.
Ready, set, go.
Seven seconds. Okay, well, I try to write hard questions, but I didn't anticipate this. But that's okay, because there is one more question. So we're going to do this again with one more question. Thank you very much. Final tiebreaker number 2. So now that you're warmed up, you should be able to do this no problem. So, team 1 is the Bulldogs, right? Jammers. Okay, whoops, sorry. Got to put the G in there, or otherwise it doesn't count. And then I get, okay. Good luck. Oh, wait. There, much better, much better.
Ready, set, go.
Now, according to what I just saw, and I've got the audience behind me on this one, I think the Jammers were first. But it was like this close. But you guys did a great job. All of you did a great job. So congratulations to all of you. Great job.
That was exciting. So once again, just like Mr. Hendricks said in the beginning, you all are amazing. There were 41 teams who competed. We have over 100 we have a lot more elementary schools who didn't even compete. So you already intimidated them enough that they weren't competing. But I just wanted to go over a couple things, because how many people here know how many pages of the books that you had to read to be able to come here today? Total. Yeah, just take a guess. Total. How many pages did you read to be able to come here and compete today? Close. You are super close. So it was, if you did not read PAX, because we didn't compete with PAX, you all read 964 pages to be able to come and compete tonight. So that's awesome. If you read PAX, you did 1,230, yeah, you did over 1,000. You did 1,236 pages. So that's amazing. So we're going to call you up to come get a medal. We're going to do alphabetical order for the teams, and we're going to do the top 3. We're going to do a picture over to the side. And then on the way out, we are giving you an advantage for all the other book battle teams next year for the Boys Read Book Battle, and that we're giving you a book that's going to be one of the competition books for next year. So on your way out, you're going to pick up a book for that. We also, and you all, this is another first, you are some of the highest scores that we've ever had in all the semifinals and this round. And you were so quick on your answers that it usually takes another like 15, 20 minutes for competition. So you all were amazing, which means you're gonna have a little bit more of a wait for pizza, but we're gonna have pizza afterwards. So once we get the photo at the end, once you get your book, we're gonna head downstairs, kind of where almost you came in, right across, there's a courtyard. And then about 11:30, and we can hang out here for a little bit too, get pictures with your team, your sponsors, your parents, whoever came to support you. 11:30, we should have pizza coming for lunch. Okay.
One last thing. Could I have the winning team? I want a picture of the winning team with that as a background.
Sure.
So before you leave.
Okay. So winning team, we're going to ask you to hang out a little bit later so we can get a picture with the background of the with the scores. So the first team I'm going to call up were the Brooker Creek Buccaneers. Come on up and get your medals. Excellent work. So next week in the Pony to Your School, everybody who participated in the competition will also get a certificate. We weren't sure who was going to be the finalist or not, so the certificates are headed out to the school via mail. The next team are going to come up are the Dunedin Dreadful Dragons. So if once you get your medal, if you would kind of head over there where the big PCSB or sign is so we can get a photo with everybody. Then we're going to have the Eisenhower Night Readers. Lakewood Black Thunder will come up next. You're going to head over that way. And sponsors, if you want to get your picture, we'd love to have you in with your teams. The Lynch Lions. Safety Harbor. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention your team name, the Book Battlers. Ranji's Rock Stars from Seminole. Oh, there should have. Well, okay. Okay, we'll get the rest. We'll check. There. Yeah. I will check with. Yeah. In third place, Gulfport Bulldogs. Come on up. So these students, they had half their team today because Enterprise Village was and their 2 fifth graders went. So they were amazing and still came up with 3rd place. In 2nd place, Douglas Jamerson Jammers. And in 1st place, having to wait so long to get your trophies, are the Ponce de Leon Panthers, I'm sorry. Come on up. So parents, you're more than welcome too if you wanted to take a group picture with everyone. We'll also do photo opportunities with the different teams separate. And as we wrap up, we just want to thank you all so much for supporting your children. I know we have a couple mentors here today supporting your mentees, which we love. Thank you so much. Once again, remember to get a book on your way out, and be sure to join us for pizza in about 20 minutes.